I want to give you a little secret to social media, even if you have 3 followers. But this is the part you need to know about ads, because this is the part that messed me up when I shot my first infomercial in 1997. When you fall in love with serving, everything changes. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is, I don't have a huge following on social. Nobody knows my name. How could that work? That is the worst thing you could tell yourself, because it's absolutely not true, and we get to watch it over and over. We are, hear me on this one, we are drowning in nonsense information, overburdened with information, but we're lacking wisdom. We're lacking intrigue. We're lacking true things that can help. I want to give you a little secret to social media, even if you have 3 followers. Instead of social media using you and you get sucked in and you're just scrolling, how about it's time that we use it? When I started 27 years ago, there was no internet. So when people are like, why would you do an infomercial? Like, how else would I be able to let people know? So let me give you 3 quick things that will change social media for you forever, whether you have 3 followers, 300, 3,000. 3 I's. And I'd love for you to write it down. Number 1, intrigue. Write something intriguing. How many people have social media and they're posting pictures of their food or where they are or their car or their life? We're just kind of done with that. I'm not being mean, but we're just kind of done with that. Imagine if you wrote intriguing copy that said, it's time for you to be a leader in the interactive, in the virtual world. Let me give you 3 steps to be a better virtual leader. That's intriguing. People are going to stop and look at that. They don't want to know what you ate for lunch. They don't want to know where you shopped the other day, but you do something that empowers them. They're intrigued. The second part of social, the second I, is once they're intrigued, guess what they're going to do? They're going to interact with you. They're going to leave a comment. They're going to leave you a DM. Oh, thank you so much for teaching me how to, do that at home or homeschool or get through those allergies or help me better, at my job and leaving and doing my own thing or whatever it is that you're sharing, all the amazing things that come in. So you're going to intrigue, then they're going to interact and you interact back. Say, oh, I'm glad you like that. What do you think the third I is? Invite them to go check out your page. We'll talk more about that later. Invite them to come on your social media. Invite them someday to your podcast. Invite them to sign up for a coaching group call or invite them to get on a phone call with you so you can offer them the thing that you do. When you create intrigue, you interact and you invite. The 3 I's, it changes social media. I would never just teach you, go out and get a lot of followers. There are so many people with a lot of followers, they have no idea what to do with them. And some of them aren't really engaged through intrigue, interact, invite. But most people are thinking about it wrong. They're thinking about, I don't want to bug my friends. No, your friends want to know when you're excited about something. Oh, I don't have 1 million followers. No, do something intriguing. People will be like, hey, can I get more of that? But let me just tell you, the ad game is not the thing I would suggest for anybody who's new. If you're in this space, it is your next evolution. If you're on your way up, so many sales can come from these 2 where you can fine-tune your message. You have proof of concept. You start to get confident. And then when money comes in, you use the profits from here to start doing ads. But this is the part you need to know about ads, because this is the part that messed me up when I shot my first infomercial in 1997. It's a long time ago. Some of you weren't born. But in 1997, I got so freaked out because I was watching Tony Robbins on his infomercial and others, and I showed up day 1 going, I got to be like Tony Robbins. I got to be dynamic. I got to try to feel taller. And I put on a suit and a sports jacket, and I sit there and I was like, hi, everybody. I was so dumb. It was so bad. It was so embarrassing. I see you laughing. It was so bad that I had to give up on day 1. But I was lucky enough to learn something. I see Erica laughing, but I was telling you, I learned something that night. I went to bed that night and said, I started beating myself up. You're not Tony. You screwed up. You're going to waste all this money. But then I realized I was trying to be somebody else. And this has changed, and this is where we are in this world because we're connected to so many people. The next day, I just went out there to be myself. And it was the start of my company. I went out there and said, if people don't like me the way I am, then I don't want to be in this business. I want to tell you, if you're an introvert, shoot ads as an introvert someday. If you're shy, shoot them shy. If you're an extrovert and loud, be you, because we have the opportunity to target the people that want to be with us. And plus, you want to build a tribe that's like you. If you're shy, you don't want a bunch of screamers. You want people like you, and there's enough of them. This little phone in our pocket keeps us connected to billions of people. So the ad game has completely changed because you can model what others do, make it yours, and lastly, be yourself. And that's the evolution from first sales, next sales, to consistent sales. I'm going to scribble it, okay? Is that making sense? It is a natural evolution that I want to be willing to share with you and not scare you about it. This shouldn't be scary. This should be exciting that there is this opportunity to take these steps that before seemed so out of like, where do my first people come from? This is exactly it. To get first sale, next sale, consistent sale evolution. Now it's time to understand how to get them to enthusiastically say yes by communicating and creating an irresistible offer so good that it doesn't need hype or pressure for people to say yes. When you love something, what do? You want to share it with people. And I'm going to share this quick story about my wife. For those of you who are part of our family or see me, you know I've shared this before, but it's something that watching her switch from not thinking she liked sales to absolutely loving it was one of the greatest things ever. When we were first together, we were both busy. She had her own salon, and she voted one of the top hairstylists in Arizona for 8 out of 10 years, and made multiple six figures. I was shocked that someone could make that much. She did hair extensions. I didn't know what they were. Girls, you know what they were. I didn't. So I learned a lot about it, right? But when we were first dating, we'd meet and say, hey, let's go to dinner. Let's go. And we loved the meeting because we were getting to know each other, and we were turning into foodies, and we'd have one glass of wine each. So she called me one day, and I knew I was going to get her because she always told me, babe, sales aren't my thing. But how do you do multiple six figures? How do you run such an amazing company if you're not good at sales? I knew she was full of crap, for lack of a better word, but I wanted to get her. So one day I called her, and I said, babe, I got off a little early. Let's go to dinner. Where should we go? And I'm dying for Italian food. My grandmother was Italian. I grew up with her. And this is Lisa in her best way. She's like, babe, there's a place up north that they cook the sauce all day. There's no chunks in it. They cook it. It's so smooth and so amazing. And the pasta, it's al dente. It's a little firm because they make it in the back right before. And if you're going to have the meatballs, when you cut into a meatball, it glistens with olive oil. You know when somebody describes that food and like these little things in your mouth are going and you just like, I was so sold. We literally drove there 100 miles. No, we didn't drive 100 miles. We drove there fast. I couldn't wait to get there. And on the way up, I said to her, you're so full of crap. And she's like, what? I said, you are the best saleswoman I have ever met in my entire life. And she's like, why? I said, because we're driving fast. We can't wait to this. She's like, no, I'm not selling. I want you to hear this. She said, I just wanted you to experience it. She said, I just wanted you to experience it. Those words have stuck with me. We've been together, that's 8 years ago, 7 years ago. Those words have stuck with me because what I realized in that moment, my wife loves making women feel confident. My wife is the support. She loves women and loves them to feel and be at the best of their ability. So when people come into my wife's salon, she doesn't look like she's selling them. She thinks, I'm going to make this woman beautiful. I'm going to whisper in her ear. I'm going to put hair extensions in so her hair looks full and she feels confident. She doesn't feel like she's selling. She's serving them. But simultaneously, they say yes to $2,000 extensions. And when I explained that to her, she realized she was doing this unconsciously. And now my wife, you ask her, she loves sales because when she sells, she gets to make a woman look beautiful. She gets to, maybe after propecia, or maybe after having a baby, or just stressful times in their life when their hair got thin, she makes them look amazing, and everybody's happy. They leave high-fiving my wife and inviting her to their weddings. And when I watched that transition for my wife, with my wife, I realized that when you fall in love with selling, when you fall in love with serving, everything changes.